Good morning. Good morning. Alrighty. Today we're going to talk about irritable bowel syndrome. Anybody heard of that?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So what is irritable bowel syndrome? Yep. Affects the colon. Okay.
Constipation.
Diarrhea, constipation. Yes.
Yeah, lots of pain.
Yes. Lots of pain. Pain, cramping. Yes. So these are some of the symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome. So basically, there is no test to see whether you have irritable bowel syndrome. It's more of a rule out process. So you've done a lot of different tests and nothing has come back, no colon cancer, no problems like that. And so they'll come back and say, well, you probably have IBS or IBD, which is irritable bowel disease. Medically, basically what's being done is they just give you meds to help relieve the symptoms. Not to fix it, but to help relieve the symptoms. Also, a lot of people are misdiagnosed. So a lot of people actually will have their gallbladder removed, and it's not necessary. Some people have hysterectomies, and it's not necessary. So a lot of misdiagnosis of IBS because the people they just can't find out what's going on. So in the natural world, what we do is several things. We make changes in diet. So we do what we call an anti-inflammatory diet. We're going to remove things out of the body that could be causing more of the irritation. And then we try to find out what foods are causing the irritation. We may also do a food sensitivity test. We'll actually test your blood to see what foods you're sensitive to, which could be causing these problems within the intestines. So believe it or not, these are cells of the intestines. And so you usually see me draw it like this.
Yes.
So now we've broken it down into a microscopic view. So this is this.
Okay.
All right. So these are the actual cells that line the intestines. And so you see how close these cells are? And so these cells allow vitamins, minerals, to leave the intestines and go where they need to go. But large proteins and things of that nature should not go out of here because we have what we call tight junctions. They're really close together. But what can happen is we have leaky gut. So now these tight junctions are not close anymore. You have this gap. So now these large proteins are coming across and going into the bloodstream, and they should not. And then the body is going to attack that. And the white blood cells are going to come, they're going to do their job, and they're going to create histamine. So you can have all these problems, and sometimes these proteins can look at like different organs in your body. It can look like a thyroid. It can look like joints or cartilage. And so now, okay, why am I having these joint pains? Why is my elbow swelling up? Why is my knee swelling up? Or thyroid issues. Now I have Graves' disease or Hashimoto's, hypothyroid, hyperthyroid, and it's all because of this leaky gut. So as naturopathic doctors, our goal is to take you from here, this leaky gut, back to here, helping heal the intestines. And we have natural things to help heal the intestines. Another thing that I've been learning is about these cells are called enterocytes, and just basically cells that line the intestines. And then within the enterocytes, we also have enterochromaffin cells. We're going to call them ETC. So these ETC cells actually release melatonin. So we talked about melatonin in the pineal gland, all right? And it helps us sleep, and it's produced on a sleep-wake cycle. So as night begins, melatonin begins to rise, you release the melatonin, you're able to fall asleep. So in the gut, we have melatonin being released as well, but it's not based on night and day. It's not based on the sleep-wake cycle, the circadian rhythm. So this melatonin is secreted in the intestines to help decrease inflammation, to help reverse constipation, to prevent ulcers and damage to the large intestines, and it also helps to prevent diarrhea as well. So it can be excitatory or inhibitory. So it can help peristalsis movement or slow it down. And so what they found is patients that have IBS have a low amount of melatonin in their urine, their byproducts. So they're not producing a lot of melatonin. Therefore, this cycle is off. And so if we help by supplementing with some melatonin, making sure they're sleeping well, they're not sleeping with the lights on all night, that they're producing enough melatonin, that can help with the symptoms of IBS while we're healing the lining of the intestines as well. So some more information about wonderful, wonderful melatonin. Isn't that awesome?
So,
Mm-hmm.
and then I got a question and want to know whether that's connected to melatonin or to sugar. You know, when you get sleepy,
Okay.
you know, especially, you know, when people, after people eat,
Yes.
they can drop, or all of a sudden you can just find yourself getting drowsy.
Yes.
Is that melatonin or is that sugar?
That's
or
your blood sugar
that's
levels
blood sugar?
dropping. Yeah, so you eat something sugary, your body is going, your adrenal glands, for the A, is going to release cortisol. Cortisol allows sugar to go into the cell, or glucose to go into the cell. But many times we overshoot, our body will overshoot. So we produce a whole bunch of cortisol, so now all this sugar is going inside the cell. And then your body will get sleepy because your brain needs glucose. So your body will actually put you to sleep because you're actually using glucose as you're moving around. So you'll put you to sleep so now that sugar can now come back up. So you get a drop of the sugar when the cortisol is released. And now your sugar slowly comes up when you rest, fall asleep. And then many times what will happen is you'll wake up and it's like, oh, I want something sweet. And then you'll keep going on this roller coaster. But the goal is to have your blood sugar stabilized throughout the day so you won't go on those roller coasters. A rule of thumb is with every meal you're having fat and protein, not just carbs, every single meal. Yes, ma'am?
Would we drink a lot of water after you eat food like that? Would that help to wash it?
Not really. No. After you've eaten a whole bunch of sugar, then you drink some water, and then that's going to help you not crash. No, it's not going. No, sorry. You need to have that balance, and it's a way your body protecting you actually. Good questions.